Here in the Gate City, what detectives have told me just moments ago is that there has been a shooting. 2 people have been taken to the hospital. Picking up the dirt on a field across the street here on Hawthorne and blowing it into people's yards. Apparently our light has been moved by what appears to be the owner of this Dairy Queen here in Pocatello. We did try to speak to the owner several times just now and also on the phone. He did not return our call. Sir, could you please move your hand?
Private property.
Sir, dental records prove the remains found on April 23rd are those of Stephanie Eldridge. They are up for contract negotiations once this week is over. Old block is flown in from Alaska. It's caught in the wild and it's never frozen. Sleeping inside these cardboard boxes. Parents are talking about doing is having swine flu parties. So we even do car side service. If you want to come up here to the Fred Meyer in Pocatello, we will take your money from your car. Had the little boy tried to wander somewhere, maybe near a dumpster, to try to stay warm and fallen asleep.
Well, apparently he ran through the canal and went through the ditch and came right across here, and the police tracked him right along and followed the footprints right along.
Sunday was supposed to be a relaxing day for Lori Ann Peterson. That was until her home became the center of a manhunt.
I was just working in my yard and I heard voices, and I saw 2 people knock on my renter's door. And I didn't think too much about it until I saw you all in my driveway. 6 inmates used a nail clipper to remove the ceiling vent grate in their jail cell. They crawled through the vent into a courtroom and escaped through an unlocked door. Police arrested 3 of the men after they were stopped while driving this truck. How does something like this happen?
Well, you know, our facility has been condemned for a long time, and one of the reasons why we have a new justice center is because we have been in desperate need of new facilities.
In exclusive video you'll only see on Local News 8, officers from 5 different law enforcement agencies search ditches, homes, and sheds with canines and guns drawn to find the 3 remaining inmates. Our cameras were rolling while 1 inmate was found underneath Peterson's home.
I have no idea what to think about that. I'm just really glad that I have 2 very large dogs.
Lori Ann Peterson found herself speechless after finding out that 1 inmate was caught on her property, and just moments later, a 2nd inmate was caught right behind her home. 5 of the 6 inmates are believed to be part of the West Side Crip Villains gang. The 6 men were able to escape just 5 days before they were to be moved to the new Shoshone-Bannock Justice Center Corrections Facility. In Fort Hall, Genevieve Judge for KIFI, Local News 8 HD. Strong winds are being blamed for fueling a 500-acre fire in Fort Hall. The high winds helped cover the sky in smoke as Sisters Rose to Sheep and Mary Nack
You have to keep insured.
did what they could to protect a family home.
Just seen it over burning south of my house, so, and scared me because I didn't know what to do, and we don't, you know, have any like fire hydrants or anything.
It looks a lot closer than we had thought, because we've seen the actual flames above the trees.
As the sisters watched the flames grow, they soaked everything in water using hoses, the whole time feeling defenseless against the blaze.
That's all we can do, is just sit by helplessly and watch as the fire comes closer and closer to our homes.
The sisters say that they love living on Fort Hall Reservation and they wouldn't live anywhere else, despite the fact that water access is limited here. But they say even though this fire causes some concern, this building is the place they call home, and they wouldn't leave without a fight.
It's a home, you know, my home, and it's insured and everything. I'm not afraid of that, but it's just lived here for what, 10 years, and yeah, this is my home.
It's scary. Yeah, it's scary.
The homes to Sheep and Nacky live in were spared from the blaze. The fire is being called suspicious. Crews will keep an eye out for the hot spots throughout the night. In Fort Hall, Genevieve Judge for KIFI, Local News 8 HD.
Local News 8's Genevieve Judge covered that trial and sentencing several years ago. Today she sits down with investigators and with Cassie's mother, Anna, in an interview you'll only see on Local News 8. Genevieve joining us now live from our Pocatello newsroom with more. Jen, why the national attention this many years later?
Well, Carol, the Stoddard family says the reason to go into the national spotlight is to share a side of a story that they say has never been told. Now, those that I've spoken with here in Pocatello feel that this documentary will do nothing but dig up the past, but the Stoddard family says this is their chance to share the story of their daughter Cassie to hopefully prevent this horrific crime from ever happening again.
She'd be 20 years old. She'd probably be in college. She'd be, you know, and I don't get to see any of that. It's gone. It was taken away, pulled out right from. I didn't even get to say goodbye to her.
Anna Stoddard will always have a void in her home and her family because nearly 4 years ago, her daughter Cassie was killed by 2 of her classmates who called her their friend.
It's hard for all of us every day, but we're trying to go on with our life because that's what she would want us to do.
And a murder committed in coldest blood.
Last fall, film crews from MSNBC came to Pocatello to interview Anna and investigators. Detective Andy Thomas says the documentary isn't only a tribute to Cassie, but to those who helped solve the case.
There were hundreds of investigators and lab people and citizens in the community are coming forward to help us.
Brian Draper and Tori Adamczyk were the 2 convicted with Cassie's murder. They planned the murder inside Pocatello High School, videotaping a majority of the events leading up to the crime.
You know, I don't want to be on TV for something so heinous, and but on the other aspect, it's kind of nice to also know that we brought these 2 guys to justice.
During the trials, it was said that one reason they committed such a horrible crime was for fame. Anna says she decided to go national to tell the other side.
It wasn't about the publicity or anything like that. It was just about getting her story out, and if I can save another family from going through what we've been through, that's all I want.
Both investigators and the Stoddards say they weren't paid for their interviews. They did it because they want to tell a story. Both the investigators and Stoddard say they don't know much about how the documentary will play out come Sunday night because the I'm Genevieve Judge. Thanks for joining us tonight. It may be the biggest twist yet in the story of Baptist missionaries and their attempt to cross the border with 33 Haitian children. The Associated Press is reporting tonight that not a single one of those children is an orphan. During a visit today to a rubble-riddled slum, thousands of Idaho students and future Idaho students participated in the state's FAFSA Day today, a statewide effort to help students find financial aid. At Eastern Idaho and have questions on how to fill out the forms, you can log on to our website at localnews.com. This morning, the man that says he wants to be Idaho's next governor spoke in Pocatello. Keith Albred, the Democratic Party candidate for the 2010 Idaho gubernatorial elections, will be held on Tuesday, November 2nd. For the tentative release of 10 Americans detained in Haiti on child kidnapping charges may be on hold amid questions about their legal advisor. Officials in the Dominican Republic say Jorge Puello. More information coming from Oregon tonight about the former Blackfoot man that Coos County Sheriff's deputies are looking for in connection to 2 murders. 33-year-old Gabriel Christensen Morris has been switching gears now to the weather. Let's go ahead and check in with First Alert 8 forecaster Danielle Grant. And Danielle, a lot of fog's moved in tonight.
Meantime, Genevieve, I'll send it back to you.
Thanks so much, Danielle. We appreciate it. Tonight, a University of Alabama professor is charged with capital murder after a shooting that left 3 of her colleagues dead. Detectives with the Chubbuck Police Department are investigating an armed bank robbery that happened just before 11 this morning. It happened at the Wells Fargo Bank at 4195. Danielle, the annual Fire and Ice Winter Fest continued today in Lava Hot Springs with some games and indoor pool fun. This morning there were disc golf games going on and players had a chance to sign up.